Hello creatives, welcome back to my channel and day 4 of the 12 designs of Christmas. Today we are designing gift tags, so let's start with the size. They are going to be 2 inches by 4 inches. I originally thought 1 by 3, but you need room to write, and I need room to design. So I'm starting off with 2 different shapes, a rectangle and a circle. 2 are based from the rectangle. So let's start with the easiest one. Right now I'm adding pen tool points, anchor points you can call them, and I'm just clicking and dragging the top points in to make the trapezoid. And then moving over to the second one, I'm adding some anchor points here with the pen tool just to lay out what I need for this one, because this one's going to be in a very unique shape, just like the circle that we're going to do next. So as you see, I am adding a lot of anchor points to the bottom using the pen tool of this rectangle, which is the second shape. Now moving on to the circle is going to be quite different. I am using the rectangle tool as well and just making it into a full square, and I'm going to be duplicating that and having some on either side. Can you guess what this is yet? Probably can't. So I'm going to position them, add some anchor points into this one too, using the pen tool, of course. Moving back to the first gift tag, I'm going to start with the area that gets punched out. I'm going to create a circle that I can duplicate across all of them, just so I know visually where I'm at and where I'm starting. Pull one over to the circle one too, making sure that everything is just how I want it. I am now going to create its unique shape, which is going to be, if you haven't guessed it already, it's going to be a Christmas tree. So I am pulling all those points in the direction that I need them where I placed them earlier. I'm trying to keep this within the 2 inches by 4 inches limit, but I think I went a little bit over because the bottom definitely needed to come out more. So I'm just moving those points around. So I'm moving the anchor points with the white direct selection tool. Sorry if I didn't say that earlier, but I'm using the white direct selection tool. And then I'm trying to make sure that everything looks visually correct. So I think this is looking pretty good. I'm using guides. Those are those light blue, baby blue lines that you see on the artboard. I'm using those to help me out, just to make sure everything stays pretty square, if that makes sense. Pretty much everything aligned to the middle, so they're all the same distance apart from each other, or at least relatively, as close as I could possibly get it. And then I'm going to move to the bottom. So I pulled out the corner anchor points on the bottom just to give myself some space so that this looks more like a Christmas tree. Next, we are going to move on to the ribbon. I'm going to pull those anchor points up on either square, round out the other end points, and then I decided to duplicate the first one I completed over to the other side of the ribbon, and then we are going to move on to manipulate the points. For the circle, I'm going to be manipulating these points, called the handles, with the white direct selection tool and the pen tool, just so I can get this nice puffed out shape. So I'm creating a cute little Christmas bow, and I'm just creating the shape of it now with these anchor points, moving the handles back and forth to make it look kind of like a poofy cloud or flower. And then I pathfinded all those pieces together for our little bow. Now, you guys, I decided to put a circle in the middle, like an oval of red, and that's going to be the color of my bow, or the base color. So now, enjoy a montage of me putting all the colors into this bow using the Freeform Gradient tool. Just to pop in for a second, the reason why I got that white fuzzy gray fuzziness is because the colors were not blending, because I forgot to change the colors over to RGB instead of the hex colors. So, expertise for you there. Always change your colors over to RGB. That is the bow done. Now moving back to the first gift tag with the rectangle basic shape. We're using the rectangle tool, and I'm going to gold towards the bottom, and I am then going to write the words to and from on here. Hi, Lorem Ipsum. Love that placeholder text. I'm going to use my favorite for the season, the Al Fresco font. You guys can find this on Adobe Fonts if you have an account. And I am going to make that gold as well. It's going to be the gold tag, the simple but fancy one. And I resized the fonts, realizing that they were going to be way too big. I think I went with size 20 or 22. And let's go ahead and pick up and duplicate this red bow ribbon that we created earlier, resize it down, and then let's turn it all gold, shall we? We will, of course, be editing that freeform gradient by changing all the points over to gold, and go ahead. Rectangular bar that I have at the bottom of. Then I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and put a linear gradient down the bar, the gold rectangle bar, and do a shadow behind the bow and make it stand out. So that one is pretty much done. I'm going to duplicate the text to each of the respective gift tags and recolor each gift tag depending on what they need. For the red bow, I put it white. Let's move on to the Christmas tree tag. I personally never seen a Christmas tree gift tag like in the shape of a Christmas tree, so I figured that'd be pretty special. So let's focus on the special Christmas tree after we did all that work with the bow. I'm moving out those bottom points at the base, just trying to get everything kind of centered, at least believably so. And that's looking so much better to me. So I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to add another gradient to the Christmas tree. This one was a lot easier. I didn't have so many points. And once again, I did not transfer my colors from the hex code to RGB, which is why I'm getting the gray fuzziness and why they're not fully blending. So you see right now, I'm currently changing over those colors so that they blend like they are right now. Look how pretty that is. I decided to add a few decorations to it. I'm going to add an oval. This is going to be manipulated with the white direct selection tool. This is going to turn into our, call it tinsel, little plasticky stuff that you decorate the tree with that's all shiny. So I chose to do an effect from the top taskbar under Effect to Store and Transform and Roughen. This tinsely kind of jagged effect. And I expanded the object, and then I decided that this needs a little bit of variation with the color. And we are going to create that using a linear gradient. I'm going to turn the gradient kind of at a small angle degree here. I think it's like 20 degrees, maybe 25. And we're going to make the tinsel a varying degree of gold. So the gold we used before, a lighter, paler yellow, and then a gold on top. I'm going to blur the shape using a Gaussian blur, expand the appearance of that shape, and then I'm going to place our word to on top of that and change the fill color to the nice deep green that is from the Christmas tree. I am then going to duplicate that same process for the word from, just resizing it to make it a little bit bigger for the bottom, and then doing the same process that I did for the font to from. From there, we're going to put on some little lights for the Christmas tree after resizing some of the fonts just to make sure that they're not too big. That way you have plenty of room to write people's names. And moving back to the tree, let's go ahead and add those lights using the sphere tool. I will use the same Gaussian blur effect, and I'm just going to duplicate those spheres. And what the Gaussian blur does is make it look like it is shining, so they actually look like lights. And I'm just going to duplicate those over and over and over again using Control C, Control F, or Command C, Command F for paste in place if you're on a Mac. I'm making sure all those lights are more believably placed. They have a little bit of weight to them, and I make sure that they're nice and shining bright. And that is the gift tags. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon for day 5 of the 12 Designs of Christmas.